How do you define success?
And my definition of success is across the board. If you're not ripped, if you're not rich, if you ain't rare, if you don't stand out, if you ain't across the board successful, it doesn't mean to me. If you got straight and you're in your Rolls Royce, you look like clown to me. So, I mean, this is what people say. Oh, it's not about the money. It's about family, Wes. It's about this, about that. When you're making money, it's about the money. When it's family, it's about family. When you're at the gym, it's about muscle. Whatever you're doing, it's about that. There's no black and white life. It's the gray area. You have to be good at everything.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this fascinating clip from the Fresh and Fit podcast where they're going to have a panel of men discuss what it means to be successful. Okay, what is a successful man? And it seems to me that there are two groups of men on this panel. One group of men kind of defines success from a more materialistic standpoint, right? A man's success is defined by what he looks like, his car, his clothes, his money, his woman, right? Whether or not he has a bill to be, okay? Things like that. And then you have another group of men who seem to have a more traditional perspective, a more spiritual perspective on the success of a man when it comes to family, okay, and what he can do for his community. And I happen to align with that point of view when we're talking about what defines success for a man. I think that a successful man is a man who can successfully provide for his family and is a positive contributor to his community. And that really doesn't have anything to do with how much money he has or whether or not he's rich or famous or if he has a six-pack or whether or not his wife is a 10. It has nothing to do with that as much as it has to do with his ability to take care of his family and also give back to his community and contribute as a positive male role model, right? That's what I think defines a successful male. Now, during this panel, one of the alpha males who seems to value materialism, specifically this guy Wes in the white here, he's going to get upset when the more traditional man, this guy right here, I don't know his name, he is going to, again, talk about success for a man from a family-oriented, more traditional perspective. And this alpha male, so-called alpha male, right, is going to get upset about it and start insulting the guy. And I think that this really shows the difference between a real man and a man that is basically trying to appeal to other men who are struggling to figure out what it actually really means to be a man, right? So they have this very materialistic and shallow viewpoint on what it means to be a man. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Well, hey, what you guys were saying earlier, I need to know what you said in English.
Okay, so my definition of success will probably be far different than everybody else's on the panel. I'll probably maybe be the lone dissenter, but my definition of success is having a family, having children, and being part of the apparatus of the world. And true wealth is a rejection of materialism. As Christ said himself, what good does it benefit a man to gain the entire world at the cost of his soul? And essentially, when I think of wealth, I think of materialism. It's okay to have materialism. It's not against Christian ethics to become rich, become wealthy. But I just think it's all beside the point, ultimately. You're trying to go for a single thing, and it's to achieve something greater
than
money.
The person. Does he have money?
No.
Do you have money?
No, I don't have.
How much money do you have?
I don't have money. But here's the thing. Why is money valuable?
Do you have money?
What is money valuable for?
I'm just asking. Do you have money?
I just told no. I'm broke. I'm a nobody.
No, but really, you are?
Yeah.
Is he really broke?
Yeah.
I just want to know. I have to know.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of these rich guys. I don't have a Bugatti. I don't have a Lambo.
I just really have to know. Like, how much money you got?
Bruh, the fact that he's asking this question, again, shows you where his mindset is, okay? Because what this guy is saying is not wrong. It's correct in the sense that, yeah, being a man is defined by more than how much money you have or your house or your car or your woman or any of these things. Again, it's deeper than that, right? And again, me personally, I think it's about the family. It's about the man taking care of his family, raising good children that are going to be positive contributors to society, and the man himself being a positive contributor to society, and what can he do for others. And a lot of these things, again, don't have to do with money or wealth or status or any of these things that are often talked about in these red pill circles. I think that, again, is deeper than what individuals like this person right here understands. And I think that's why he has a problem with what this person is saying, because for him, his only definition of success comes from, again, materialistic and shadow thing, in the sense that he can't really see deeper than the surface, right? So for him, it's all about money, right? His definition of success and what makes him tick and what makes him go, what motivates him is worldly possessions. And that to me is kind of morally and spiritually bankrupt, right? And you're going to see this kind of come to a head here in a minute.
Yeah.
Probably the $5 in my pocket, not much more.
Can anyone answer for the guy?
Why do they think I'm kidding? I have a family. I take care of an entire family. That takes a lot of money.
All right. He's doing all right.
Okay,
It's okay.
This is the thing, you guys. If you ain't fit, you can't say it's not all about being in good shape.
Why not?
If you don't have money, you can't say it's not all about money.
Yeah, why
But
not?
if he does have money, he can say that.
Why not? Why can't you say? Why must you have the thing before you? Hang on. Let me ask the question.
Because hypothetical is hypocritical.
Let me ask the question.
Hypothetical is hypocritical.
How do you even know what I was going to say before I've even been allowed to ask the question?
I know what you're going to say.
Then what was I going to say?
You're going to say why can't you ask the question?
Okay, so that's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is, how in the world can you create a standard that it's inappropriate to ask somebody, how come if I don't have X thing, because I don't value X thing, does that mean X thing is actually valuable?
You've never experienced it, so you can't speak about
You
it.
think that I haven't experienced wealth? Even
I was
people,
asking if you did.
Even poor people experience days of wealth.
I was
They
asking
can-
if you
even
did.
poor
I don't know
people-
who you are.
But even poor people experience days of wealth. And so the thing is
No,
it's
definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely
No,
so.
definitely not.
Definitely so.
I've lived the lowest lows and the highest highs.
Well, what's the distinction? After you make X amount, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you look at these studies done on this, it does not.
I don't fit no
It does
studies,
not
bro.
hugely improve a person's
Are
life.
you proud of who the f
Bro,
you are?
why
Well,
don't
look
you
at,
even
are
let
you
me
proud?
get-
If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this mother proud of who the f he is? That's a bag of trash, dude. Pull your fin shirt
Because
off
I've
and
been
tell me you're f- proud of
because
yourself.
I've been to prison.
Jesus Christ!
Because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and
So as you guys can see here, this is what happens every time somebody starts to lose an argument, okay? Because a lot of times these debates, these arguments, the loudest person thinks that they're winning, okay? But usually when an individual starts to get really loud and they start to get really aggressive doing what is supposed to be a conversation between two men, where you're debating a concept, you're debating an idea, right? There's no need to turn up like this in this type of form. When they start to get aggressive like this, they're losing the debate, right? Because usually what will happen is they'll bring up irrelevant points, and they know their points are relevant, and they get called out on the fact that their points are relevant. Like this guy, the aggressive so-called alpha male, bringing up the point that, well, you can't say that successful man is not all about money if you don't have money. When, again, I think that when you look at this guy's definition, the traditional family man's definition of what a successful man is, his definition doesn't have to do with material wealth. I think so long as, again, the man can do enough to provide for his family to the point where they're happy, I think it matters from that perspective. But anything after what you need to provide and to give your family a good life, after that, it really doesn't improve happiness, or I think increases, positive outcomes for your family. And I think that this is what this guy was bringing up, a study that shows that after you make X amount of dollars, I think it's $70,000 or $80,000 a year. Who knows? It may have went up in Biden's economy, right? It doesn't really increase your happiness. Okay, you don't gain much from it in regards to overall satisfaction with life. Now, here's the thing: if you make money the main thing that makes you happy, then you will never be happy. You will never be satisfied, because at the end of the day, what makes you happy is money, right? Material possessions, okay? And if that is what you're chasing in life, then you're never going to be happy, because enough will never be enough, okay? So I personally think that, for me personally, this guy's definition doesn't really have that much to do with money, because again, after you make a certain amount of money, it really doesn't improve your happiness or your satisfaction with life. But instead of having that deeper intellectual conversation, this guy starts roid raging and attacking this man personally, attacking what he looks like, right? Which means that you probably lost the debate, right? At that point, once you start calling the man fat, okay, you start, attacking him for what he looks like, because he doesn't look like your definition of a successful man. Again, it shows you that they've lost, right? They can't actually argue on the merits. So this is what they resort to. They resort to personal attacks. This happens every single time, right? Irrelevant points. After their irrelevant points to dismiss, they get mad and they resort to attack you personally, okay? And then they end up raging like this and acting really emotional.
And don't have.
No, they go to prison where they get fucked.
Yeah, they've never been to prison. Look,
That's
this
what
type of shit you don't know.
They go to prison where they get raped.
Now you get your ass beat in front of
You think
everybody.
that's better? You think that's
Now here we have the threats, right? That's the next stage, okay? They start threatening you. But again, this guy is not intimidated. He's not intimidated. He's still going back at this guy. Even though, he appears to be what, 250, 260? Lean muscle, But again, this emotion, this losing his frame, again, as a man, trying to have a civil conversation that men should be able to have, civilized men should be able to have without getting upset, he's not able to do that, right? But he's supposed to be the alpha male role model for young men to follow. And again, if most men in the world acted like this, doing what's supposed to be an intellectual debate, discussion, then we wouldn't get much done in society, right? We just wouldn't.
Better? Let's let him give his definition of success. And then
Having 10-inch arms is what a man is, you guys.
Let's let him
Please
get his,
don't listen to that.
Wes, let's let him get his thing out. And then
We can have different opinions.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to where I was at. Yeah, okay, prison. But anyway, if you want to follow the successful mantra of a man who tells you he's reformed from prison, understand why they might have gone there to begin with. And yes, I do think
Emotions, right? This man probably went into prison because of his emotions, okay? That's why most men are in prison, because they can't control their emotions, right? So this guy is showing us once again, right, why he went to prison, and he's demonstrating that. And again, this guy is making solid points, okay, through all of the bravado, the yelling, the alpha male attitude. He's losing the intellectual debate, right? And this is why he's so emotional, okay? And that is what happens every time, you start to lose a debate. The loser gets real emotional about it, right? They start boo-hoo-whining and crying. But anyways, this dude's logic is just flawed, okay? Because he's basically trying to say, well, this family man, this traditional man, young man, should know that he's not successful just based off how he looks. Because successful men have to look like him, right? They have to be jacked and in shape. Okay, this is his argument. Well, if that is the case, then would you say that Bill Gates is not a successful man, right? Because Bill Gates probably looks more like this traditional family man from a physical perspective. So he's not somebody that's impressive to look at, but yet I would define him as a successful man, right? I mean, and it's not even having to do with his money or his wealth. It has to do with the fact that he built a company that impacted the world, right? He made a significant impact on the world. Now, again, some people are arguing about whether or not that's a positive or negative one overall, right? Based off the agenda that he's continuing to push. But just in general, I would say that Bill Gates, pretty successful guy. So if you follow this guy's logic, a lot of these young men, right, would not define Bill Gates as a successful man, which means they probably wouldn't go up to him and to ask him for any advice, which in my opinion, I think could probably be very valuable advice if you're looking to go into business and to make connections. But hey, this guy would probably say, yeah, you shouldn't listen to Bill Gates. You should listen to me because I'm a big, strong alpha male who has all these material possessions, and you should pay me money to take one of my courses so that I can teach you how to be as successful as Bill Gates, right? You should listen to me actually, okay? That is probably what this guy would end up saying. I mean, that's essentially kind of the business model of these individuals, right? And I think that the only reason you can have somebody like this be even remotely successful is because of the lack of fathers in homes, okay? The growth of some of these sectors in the manosphere is really a result of the fatherlessness crisis in the United States of America, okay? Because if we have fathers in homes, then you wouldn't have so many young men going to the internet to find a father, right? That is what's happening. Okay, so all of the things these individuals talk about should be topics that you talk about with your father. You should learn about these things from your father. That is how it should work.
That a rejection of materialism is something missing in society, and I do think that true wealth is the family, and I think that true wealth is having a wife, and true wealth, that is what I think it is, and that is what I think truly success is being able to go home and look your family in the face and know that you're doing everything you can to support them. That's
and then
what
when
I
you
think
go to the
success
beach
is.
with your family, they're like, "There's my stud dad right there, standing there.
Do you have-
that stud right there with his shirt off?
Do you have children?
Look at that stud.
Do you have children?
I do have children.
How many?
I have 2.
You have 2. So are you saying that your Bugatti and your money and everything
If
else
they
is
saw me
worth more
standing
than your
there, they'd be
children?
like, my dad's a superhero. Look what he brought to the table. Look how hard this guy works. He came from
Sure.
nothing to this.
Yeah.
He's, God damn it.
You're still
Okay, all those things he just said, your son can say that about you, and you don't need $1 million, right? You can make $80,000 a year, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and your son can still say all those things. Look how hard my dad works. Look, he came from nothing to something. He's a leader, right? Look at all the people that admire him, because again, all of these traits, all of these things, okay, can be attained without millions of dollars, right? And this individual seems to not really understand that, because his mind, again, his definition of success, he values himself based off his material possessions, not because of any of the intrinsic values that he has as a man, right? His actual intangibles, okay, as a leader and as, you know, somebody that men should look up to.
whining. Stop whining
that
and
is
just
a
make an
product.
argument.
I'll smack your fat ass.
So you're going to attack?
Straight
You're going
up.
to
All
attack me?
right.
Dude,
All right.
nobody's
All right.
Do you
whining.
usually attack
This
armed
is
men
how
in
I
Florida?
talk, bro. Dude,
All right.
look
Let's
at
just-
your goddamn self.
Okay,
Guys,
well,
guys,
I've never
guys,
seen such a
creepy.
pathetic motherfucker.
well,
Let's chill out a little
I'll-
bit, man. A little bit.
Yeah, so you guys get that, right? Shout out to this guy, okay, the traditional family man, for standing up for traditional family values, right? Because I definitely think the family, okay, is what's more important when you're talking about the success of a man and how you define that success. And again, if you are a man without a family, then yeah, it's about how you can help others, right? And how much of a positive contributor you are to society. And I think that that's probably the way I would define it, okay? But, you know, hey, unfortunately, we have some people out here that call themselves alpha male leaders, okay, that are basically the blind leading the blind, right? That's the unfortunate part of this. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.